Welcome to Performance Upgrades. I'm your host, Dave Moss. Today's show is brought to you by sportbikerange.com. Performance parts and professional advice. Today's show is about how to mount bodywork properly, and with us we have Luca from Factory Bodyworks. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dave. Hello everybody. The first step for mounting bodywork adequately on a race bike should be done by taking the whichever the fairing is that has the lip. So we call this the inside fairing. As you can see here, this is an upper, and it looks we have about an inch lip here. And just to make sure, we're gonna just double check that really quickly. We have about an inch lip here. Now this is where your lower is gonna be mounted on. So this is why this step is crucial to figure out, so that you have enough fiberglass for when you put the fasteners in to actually hold on to something.
Okay, so this piece then is where the mounting's going to be.
Exactly.
The D-rings. So this has to be structurally, obviously, pretty sound and recessed, so the upper comes over.
Yes, it is. It's very important for the looks that once you put the exterior fairing, which in this case would be the upper, that it looks flush, like nothing's supposed to be there.
All right.
Okay. And yes, as you touched on the point, wherever that you put fasteners, it should be a lot harder and allowed. It should be. You know, ready to take some stress. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
So let's move on to the lower, which was what we were mentioning earlier. This piece is the lower, and as we mentioned before, once you put it on, it's supposed to look like it's supposed to be there. Perfect. So we went ahead and drilled the holes, and now this upper is ready to have the lower placed onto it, to figure out where we're going to drill the holes on the exterior fairing. Because remember, the two fairings have to line up perfectly so that the screw can go in.
So we'll get the perfect overlap here.
Exactly.
We'll put the Sharpie through the back and mark it where we need it to be.
That's exactly
and then we'll
right.
go from there. So there's that.
There's that. Okay.
So I'll go ahead and hold that while you
Awesome.
grab the Sharpie, and let's line that up for the camera so people can see how it needs to fit. But would you check that that's appropriate?
That is perfect. If it looks like that it's supposed to be there, you're doing the right thing.
Okay, so
I'm gonna mark it right here. Done.
Okay, so this side is now ready to drill.
Perfect.
And then you do exactly the same thing on the other side. Go ahead, drill the other side.
Now, every time we drill fiberglass, I recommend that you do this outside. And if you have them handy, maybe a face mask of some sort or a breather mask. You really don't want to inhale the dust. It doesn't taste very good, and it's chemical. So now to mount bodywork, it is almost essential, let me put it this way, to use a step bit. Why use a step bit? Well, it's marked. That's why it's called a step bit. But it's marked for each at specific increments. And what you want to do is find which increment matches your studs. In this case, the D-ring studs that we have equate to the number 5 spot on this drill bit. Now, the most important thing you can do to make this easier for you later is to drill the exterior fairing the size of the stud, but the interior fairing a size bigger, so you don't ever have to fiddle around and make sure you're perfectly inside the hole. This way you have a bigger hole in the back, and you can just stick the bolt in there and twist it, and you'll be right on the money every time.
Now you'd always drill on both sides and clean the other side up on the opposite?
Yes, it makes it just a little better for whoever ends up painting the bodywork. It's a little cleaner of a job. Although they're always going to end up sanding it a little bit, but I just like to make it easy for everybody.
So this piece is step number 5?
Yes.
On that drill bit?
On this piece. And on that piece is step number 6.
So put the lip on first.
Uh-huh.
So that seats it correctly. Then have your first D-ring ready.
Uh-huh. And we are right on the money. The next step is to take one of the S-clips, as they're called, of the fasteners, and make sure that we mark where we're going to drill for. Now, what am I talking about? Now, there's different types of fasteners. The most commonly used fasteners are called D-ring or even flathead, but Zeus fasteners. There's different types of clips that allow your fastener to hang on to your bodywork, just like this. This is called an S-clip. Now this is the #1 preferred method. There's other fasteners like slip-on fasteners or T-clip fasteners. The reason why I don't recommend those is because when you have maybe on your last call to go race and you're putting on your lower, the last thing you need is a slip-on fastener to fall on the ground and you can't find it. Because those only hang on by pressure. They're basically very tight clips that you spread out and put into your bodywork. These you rivet on. So what are we going to do? We're going to put them on top with a hole, and we're going to mark where we're going to drill for the rivets to go through. You got 1, 2. We're going to repeat this step for all the holes and drill them with the appropriate size bit, which for whatever rivet size you'll be putting in. Usually when you buy the Zeus fasteners, they come with rivets already, so just try to match the hole size.
Now should your hole size be a hair on the tight side, so you have to push the rivet a little bit? Or?
Most people prefer doing that. Some people like making it a little bit wider, just so it's easier and you don't have to push through it, as long as it's a hair either lower or higher.
Right, because the last thing you want is the rivets slopping around, because
exactly.
when you pull it tight, they'll just pull through.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you're touching on some very good points. You've done this before, Dave.
A couple times. And bought new bodywork because of that.
Oh no.
But that was a long time ago when I first started out. So we'll go ahead and match the drill to the rivet head,
Which
not
is
the
what
rivet
we're doing.
pin.
Exactly, the head, not the pin. And we are...
Because that's also a very common mistake.
That is.
Because people will put the pin through from the back side, which is obvious, and we'll get to the right way of putting the pin in, but...
Right on the money.
Okay, so we now need to drill ourselves 8 holes. It's like my uncle that was doing drum brakes on his car, and he's sitting there doing it with no face mask on, yelling at me, "Get away, this stuff gives you cancer."
Yeah.
And he's just sitting there with no breathing equipment. But that was in the late 60s where nobody really cared.
Nobody cared, yeah.
Again, the beauty of drilling here is you've got good structural rigidity.
Yeah.
And lots of material to get through, so be patient.
Now after we've drilled the holes, what you want to pick up is a rivet gun, or a rivet press, rivet punch, whatever you want to call it. These are available very cheap at Home Depot, Lowe's, even probably AutoZone. This is a very good tool.
Yeah, no problem there. Nice and simple, straight through.
There you go. I want to grab the S-clip. Now, I would like to point out that these S-clips are called S-springs for a reason. You see how the edges are coiled? They act exactly like a spring. So what you want to do is put the spring part on the bodywork and the straight part away from the bodywork.
So what we'll do then, we'll rivet this, and then when we're done riveting, we'll turn it over. So secure the S piece in, grab your rivet, go ahead, pull it through, and then for the camera, we'll turn it around so that Chris can focus there.
Now the reason why these backings are so good is because since you riveted them on, they never leave. They'll never fail you. The only way to take this out is to drill through the rivet.
Now with each of these S-clips we put on, we should keep them facing, that might not be the right word, but the S in the correct position on each one. Is that right?
Yeah, that's a good point also, especially for people that are very meticulous about the way their bikes look. This way you have all the fasteners twisted in the same direction. It actually looks pretty nifty when you do it correctly.
Yeah. So we'll just repeat the process and we'll knock all these out, and then we'll go into the shop and then we'll start putting the bodywork onto the bikes.
All right, sounds great.